Um, we probably got about half an hour before we do lunch. What would you guys like to do? Would you guys like to switch gears? Do you have questions? Can I help answer some stuff? I'd like to see if we can, if we're ready, we'll move on. Otherwise, I wanted to kind of make sure that anybody who had questions with stock units, we've kind of wrapped them up. You can move them. We didn't do anything with a floor plan, but that's basically additional payments. That's when the bank covers it and stuff. Like, often if you have, say you had RVs on your lot and you have 100 RVs on there, okay? That's $80,000 a pop, okay? Most likely you don't have that kind of money just sitting in your thing. So what you do is you have a bank that says, hey, we'll give you a couple $1 million for a floor plan, okay? So then you have to start managing which monies are being paid to the bank, what kind of interest is being accrued, am I able to switch this title over for money? Like, it's literally kind of back-end bartering, but it's called floor plan stuff. It also deals with stock units. Okay, we talked lightly about receivables. We talked, okay, I am going to do one more thing kind of dealing with expense receipts and stock units for just a minute, okay? So earlier, what we did is we actually looked up some of the different pieces that and we went to the thing and we clicked on it and said, hey, we're going to pay it, and it helped us make an expense immediately. What we're going to do right now is say we actually wanted to pay for some of this this Dodge that we just sold, okay? So I'm going to go invoice homepage so I know that I've got the invoice right here, $4,500. The stock unit is number 38. I'm going to click on it, okay? So right down here, amount still owed, $3,500 towards this thing, okay? Now, what if I didn't want to pay for that whole thing? I'm going to go a different direction than I went last time, is basically what I'm saying. The last time I went to the payables homepage, I pulled the stock unit report, and then I was able to do it right from there. If I wanted to, I could also just go right to an expense and then hammer the number 38 in manually, and it'll still apply that payment to the correct thing. Let's say that we're going to put $10,000 towards this, okay? So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go home. We're going to go to System Liabilities and then the Expense Receipt homepage. Money going out. We're going to go pay $10,000. Okay? So here's my little links that I have. I'm going to go ahead and say, you know what? We're going to create a new expense. And I don't even know which ones they have in here. Let's see what they have. Let's call it Bank of America. Let's pretend that that's who we're going to pay, okay? Just going to hit back and bank. Boom. Create a new receipt, okay? So right here, this little page is called the Add Edit Expense Receipt. So this is a manual process of creating money coming out of your bank. You have your main, you have your line items, and you have your payments, okay? And you can actually have different levels or whatever. So we knew that we wanted to do $10,000. As soon as I move out of this field, this $10,000 will transfer itself down to the other little pieces, okay? That's just called simple JavaScript. We're going to make a payment on the Dodge. We're going to come down here. Once again, if you're getting into expense receipts, we will cover this more on the third day, but you want to make sure you have the correct categories, if you will, expense types set up. We don't really have a whole lot, but right now I'm going to say inventory because I'm actually going to be paying for a stock unit. Location, I'm actually from the Breckenridge. And the stock unit, this is where it gets kind of fun. 38, it's going to tie it to Tanya's. Now, if I leave it at general tie-in, nothing happens. It's just like, okay, cool, I'll hold hands with 38. But watch this, I have to physically go like this. I'm actually paying for this. I'm paying towards its base price. Okay? If I select that, it will automatically do it. I'll come down and I'll say, you know what? We're going to do another check out of Aspen. No problem. And we're going to put that check number in. Okay. So at this point, right here, I now applied $10,000. So my bank automatically went down, right? And I automatically have a check. I can print it out here. It's a piece of cake. I'm not sure if my printer's on, but like literally it could be this easy if you wanted to print out a check for this $10,000. I've got a bunch of little checks here just to kind of show you. That's my printer just coming back to life. And ideally, like in this training environment, I have to get up and move to the printer and stuff like that. Like you'd have your workflow set up pretty easily. This is a little flash widget. What it does is it basically kind of helps you organize. You can show, hide some stuff, and then when you're ready, you click print check, and then you come down, you select your correct printer, and you say print. And then you jump back to your expense receipt, and in just a second, it'll actually kick it out through that printer right there. In the meantime, I'm actually going to get ready to scan this as a document. So I'm going to say show the desktop. Mine's just refreshing for just a minute, and I'll grab my scanner. Mine's just going slow for a second. So here's my check, piece of cake, printed on stock. Plop it right in there so it's ready to scan. Come up here. I can scan this check now. I turn it to custom because I really like to have it only at 100 DPI. Sometimes they're way high, like 600 or way. You don't need that. You probably want to be between 75 and 100. Just hit next. It'll kind of do its little scan. And it's going to give me image number 9. In the meantime, while that's scanning, I can come right here. I can click on this little piece right here, puzzle, and as soon as I hear the scanner saying, hey, cool, I just did what I needed to do, I could actually upload that image right to expense receipt number 26. So that's the signal. You can hear that my thing is done. Go to my desktop, find my little folder that I had my items, grab number 9, open, add my photo. And then print this, save it, send it in the mail, whatever I have to do. And here is my little picture of my check that we just printed right out of Adilas for $10,000. It's tied to expense receipt number 26 and has a couple little notes if I want it, but there's my little check. Okay, right here, sign it. It's on its way. And in the meantime, this expense receipt is actually happy because it now has its own photo as well, just like we added photos to this documents. Okay. Also, let's go back to right here. I just wanted to show you this. If you jump back into this one, and here's number 38, it has a little flag, says it was a payment. If I go to 38 and I come down, it now says, hey, I've paid $10,000, I only owe $25 now. Okay? And if I click on this, it'll even tell me, oh, go look at expense receipt number 26. Relationships, cause and effects. Like, you're literally telling a story, and this is how we track it. This is how we help you get your stuff done. Awesome. That was a different way of than the payables homepage. Shannon, any questions from online or anything?
No, there has not been any yet. So.
Okay, great. Tanya, do you have any questions or anything?
This may be off topic.
Great. Let's go.
That you also had the ability to do P&L. So what if I just want to, on the slide, check what my profit and loss is for the day?
Absolutely. Watch this. Let's go home. We'll go System Reports, P&L, Income Statement. Okay, P&L, Profit and Loss. Okay, we'll hit Go. Here's my date range. I can select which locations I want, and let's say that I want it all the way out to as full expand as I can, basic, small, medium, large. Okay, hit the numbers. So currently, I'm at a net profit of $39,000. My revenue is $232, according to this right here. But here's all my different little pieces. Guess what? This little $6,000 right here, that's that brand new Chevy that we just did today. If I click on this, Chevy Tahoe. Okay, like it automatically feeds itself in. Watch this. We've spent some money too. Let's scroll down and see where we spent some money at. Okay, down in expenses. I'm not sure. Okay, I didn't categorize it correctly, but guess what? It's basically saying, hey, 1,600 of this actually went to I'm not sure. Okay, we did spend some money for some other things as far as like paying off units, but that's more of a balance sheet type thing. That's flipping numbers behind the scenes. You don't show that on your P&L, okay? Because your inventory is holding all that value, so that would not show up there. Okay, but we've had a couple different sales, and if we literally wanted to run things really, really small, like normally you don't do that, but if you wanted to see your daily type of thing, you could literally just kind of go in here and be like, what did we do today? Show me just for 8/27, okay? We sold $64,000. We had some adjustments that happened, which we could come down and look at. Oh, we had a trade-in, okay? This is the difference between what the real value was versus what we said it was. So that's what that adjustment is right there, okay? So this is just today we did this. We had cost of goods that automatically got pulled in because they were already attached to those items. The cost of goods automatically got pulled in. We had a gross profit of $10,000, and then we spent $1,600 on the payroll thing, which currently is not calculated correctly, but here's how easy you could fix that. If you knew how to do it, you go home, you say, I'm going to go to the expense receipt homepage. I need to manage my classifications or my account types, and I click on this, and I'm going to say, you know what, we are going to do wages. Let's see here. Let's do people, wages, and we'll just call it sales. How about that? We'll just say add that account. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the expense receipt homepage because I know that this is the one for Adilas demo was my problem. I'm going to hit edit, scroll down, find the one that was miscategorized. I'm not sure. Hit edit. Because I now added the new one, I can come in here and say wages, salespeople, rec, still good, edit. So now if I go to my P&L and I do that exact same thing, I'm just going to leave the date range big like that. Go get it all. Scroll down to the bottom. It's now categorized under people, wages, sales. Okay? Instead of, oh, I don't know. Like, it automatically knows what's going on with some of those different pieces. And so the more that you can kind of think along those lines, like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Once you know where you're looking, it makes a huge difference. Like, Tanya, you're really good at like Photoshop and Illustrator and stuff like that. But if somebody were to ask you, how do you put a feather around something? You'd have to be like, okay, first off you have to select, and then you have to do this, and sometimes you have to inverse the selection, and like, once you know what you're dealing with, you're able to play in very, very, very quick manners. But you said earlier during the break, you're like, wow, it seems kind of intense sometimes, like there's so much. Once you learn this, it's really fun, and you can really kind of get your head around some of those pieces. But that was a great question. You wanted to pop into P&L, and we popped into P&L. Okay. Any other questions you have? I love them. Grade them. On your P&L, you can actually look at multiple different levels. Watch this. We hit back and we just said, you know what, just show me kind of like a small version of this P&L. Here's the same exact numbers with a miniature version, kind of like it's not all cascaded out into all of its pieces. Anything that you're looking at, if you want to look at it, you literally say, what is this $230 right here? Click. Kind of breaks it into what the different little pieces are. Okay? And if you need to go deeper, you can go deeper. If you need, like, you literally keep following that story. Once the data exists, you let it flow, and you just kind of keep pushing it past those checkpoints. And that's another place that I need some graphics done.